In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the American bomber line bombers, so like the heavy bombers, not including when they turn to strike aircraft, like here, when it says bomber in the name. So I'm going to be starting off with the TBD, and I'm going to be going all the way up to the B-57B and ranking every single one. I'm not going to be ranking this one because it's literally the exact same plane. There is no difference between these two. This one just has wheels, so it's the same exact. If I don't rank it and it's a variant, just assume it's the exact same as the normal version. Alrighty. Alright, so we're in the first match here. A few more things I should probably have pointed out. Number one, all of these matches are going to be realistic. That's what the rankings are going to be based on. Number two, I'm playing one match for aircraft. I've played all these aircraft many of times before. It's just one showcase match, and it's going to be on a scale of 1 to 10. These are not going to be a tier list in which I like drag the things to, each box. Like, oh, this one's in C tier, because I think those kind of get ambiguous when it's like 3 planes in C tier, which one's really better, Yeah, this is gonna be a 1 to 10. So for I might rate this thing 7.8 out of 10, and then I might rate another bomber an 8 out of 10. That other bomber is better objectively. You take into consideration its stats, BR bracket, bomb load, and defensive armament. So yeah, this plane might be better in this case than some other planes, even though other planes might have higher speed, higher bomb load, better defensive guns. They just might not be as good for their BR. So that's how I'm going to be rating this thing. And starting us off is the TBD-1. The TBD-1 is, it's a great entrance into the American bombers ring, I would realistically say. Now, it's pretty bog standard. It's got a singular 50 cal and a singular defensive turret machine gun. It's like a mix between, in my opinion, a strike aircraft and a real bomber, because it's pretty fast. Well, it's not fast, but it's got the characteristics of a strike aircraft. But it's got a heavier bomb load than something like the SB-2U, which is your enter strike aircraft. So it's nothing like the heavier bombs that we'll be seeing very, very, very soon. But I'd say it's a pretty good entrance into the world of bombers for a new player. Big 3 bomb resets. Its standard one is 12 100-pound bombs. And then the other two, the one I'm using right now is the 1,000-pound bomb, and the other one is 3 500-pound bombs. And it has 500 rounds for its 50 cal. So it's pretty nice there. And because it's at 1.0, you don't have to climb up at all. Because of your starting altitude, you are realistically never going to get intercepted. It gives you an easy gun to control, the 50 cal, and an easy 7.62 on the back. Aircraft of this BR do not have a lot of protection, so 50 cal is going to be really good as a defensive weapon. Here's a 109 coming at me. And yeah, as you see there, it is great in defending itself. The 109C, I don't really know what his guns are, but it's a sturdier aircraft. So you're at this point, you probably got it from grinding using the reserve tier aircraft, and you're used to kind of starting like entry dogfighting and stuff. Yeah, it's not like a massive switch. That was the TBD-1. My rating on this aircraft, I think it's a solid 6.5 is where I put it at the highest. Great introduction to bombers, but at the same time, it still is rank 1. It's not very fast. I would say there's better options for rank 1 bombing if you want to grind this out, or if you want to actually grind a little bit, play rank 2 or rank 3 bombers. So at the end of the day, this aircraft is limited in its usefulness, but for rank 1 bombing, I'd say it's a pretty average aircraft, and your introduction to being a bomber, I'd say it's pretty good. One of the biggest differences, probably in my opinion, between the two aircraft is this one only has turrets for its defensive armament. So yeah, you're kind of stuck with that. However, on the flip side, it has way higher bomb load. It's got double the bomb load. It moves quite a bit faster, 40 miles an hour faster. Has a much higher climb speed. It is, it's not as this is your first real bomber in the American texture. And I think it's for actual bombers. Like, as I said, this is kind of an introduction to what bombing is. This is an introduction to what bombers are. Like, what an actual bomber would look like and feel like to play. I think this might be the best infrastructure in the game. Number one, I think the rank 1 USA bomber tree is probably the best in the game. The one thing you will notice is this guy right here. So the DO-17 is an aircraft you're going to face this job, and you don't really have a good defense for him. He's a pretty heavy boy. He's got quite a few 20 mils in there. So if I could, I would avoid him, but that's really your only threat. And even then, most rank 1 players aren't smart enough to climb up to me. We'll see what Rene. Okay, well, fuck. Now, the only problem I currently have right now is I'm too fast. It doesn't have an air brake, which is what I'm used to. A lot of the bombers I play do have air brakes because they mostly play jet bombers. So I came in really fast, and because you're not in the TBD1, it's going to be a lot harder doing these pinpoint landings like what I'm doing right here, where I'm using a lot of my speed, burning a lot of my energy, and I'm just trying to come on the runway. Another thing is, you might notice, runways are really short at this BR, so bombers inherently are going to have a harder time redeploying into the battle. Okay, can I slow down in time? That's a landing. So yeah, a lot of your landings at this tier are going to be what I just did there. Unless you're fucking Pablo Picasso, you just don't have a lot of runway room. And bombers require a lot of runway room to land because they're bigger, heftier than any other aircraft you get. So, my rating of this aircraft. The TBD-1 was a solid 6.5. This thing's better in every single way, shape, and form. And basically, still at the same BR, I'm going to just have to give it straight up 8. I think a 1.5 increase is fair and due. I think it's the best bomber at 1.3. I think it's a great upgrade over the previous TBD-1. Moving up in bomb load and in rank, but certainly not in speed, is the PBY-5 Catalina. So this is a seaplane. It's at 1.3. It's very, very well known in the real world. Its defensive armaments are 250 cals here, 2 7.62s back and front. So this thing, unlike the previous 2 aircraft, is the heaviest bomb load you're going to get until you get to rank 3. So that's actually the most unique part about this thing. It has the heaviest bomb load at rank 1. Less fun about its uniquity is that it is the slowest bomber in the American bomber tree. Yeah, when spaded, this thing's fully spaded for man. It just doesn't show it because I haven't bought some modifications. It goes 180 miles an hour. That is 20 miles an hour, 14, 15 miles an hour, slower than the TBD-1, which is your first bomber. So yeah, this thing is slow. Really, really slow. However, it's got a pretty decent defensive armament. You're still at 1.3, so not going to really have to worry about anybody besides those pesky DO-17s. One thing that actually would probably be helpful for newer players, you don't have to worry about managing a bomb bay. So newer players who just came to the game, they might not have dropped the folder to get the B-18. So they haven't learned bomb bay mechanics yet, and this one doesn't teach it to them. So, when I started using aircraft that required a bomb bay, at the B-34, when I jumped from the PBY, this thing, to the B-34, often when I'd reach base, I'd forget to open my bomb bay. So, yeah, wasn't fun learning that. This aircraft, you're a newer player, you're still learning how to fly an aircraft. You don't need to be learning how to use a bomb bay. It's good to not overcomplicate things. This thing cannot handle dive. Do not dive on down with it. That's another thing you have to learn. It's also, one good part about being slow is it helps new players specifically, bomb accurately. They're still trying to get the hang of the controls. It also helps me for doing stuff like this, where I am trying to line up for another base. I couldn't do it in the B-18 last time. You saw it. Can we level out, please? The B-18 couldn't make that turn on time, but since she is so slow, she's able to. Speaking of landing, you don't have wheels in this variant. The other variant that's literally the exact same that has wheels is at a battle rating step higher. So do with that as you will. I wouldn't personally use that one above this one, because as I've already said, landing as a bomber at the lower tiers on these tiny strips of an airfield, you're just gonna do your classic belly land either way. That's what I've done for basically every single time I've done this. I've belly landed. She's also really irresponsive on ailerons and the rudder, basically everything. She's not super responsive. Your elevators are fine, but everything else is not that responsive at all. Yeah, you're a big boy and you're at 1.3, so you're not, if this was like agile, if this was like, if it didn't have the flaws it had, it would definitely be at least a 2.0 to 2.3 aircraft. But we will get to that variant shortly. So let's people like Catalina. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this aircraft. So my argument for it, like why I would enjoy it, is purely its bomb load. And yeah, aircraft can be great purely based off bomb load. That's why I think aircraft like the B-29 are really, really, really fun to play. But then on the flip side of the coin, PV-4Y is cancerous and abysmal to play. So, it's two sides of a very, very different coin. So I'd actually rank this thing. Personally, I'd see it as like a 6.5. Exactly the same as the TBD-1. And while I'm saying the TBD-1 is great, and you might be saying, why is that bad? PBY Catalina should be more of an improvement. This is your next bomber. This is your thing to say, oh, I want in on the bomber line. And at the same BR, I realistically think the B-18A just does everything better. But an aircraft that fixes these problems is the PBM Mariner. So this is your first aircraft in the American tech tree if you do not do folders that has bomb bays, which is cool. The bigger plus of this is its defense environment. It has 5 50 caliber machine guns with an overlap of 2. I think maybe you can get 3. No, only 2. 2 at once, which is good, especially for this BR. A lot more responsive than your previous Catalina. It has flaps. It's got a good gunnery arc, and it doesn't have wheels, unfortunately, but it's got a thicker hull, so you can land it easier when you belly land. And at this tier, you do actually have a longer runway, which is great. Great improvement over, well, not tier. At this BR, you're going to have a longer runway, which is great compared to the previous ones. You actually might be able to, land the aircraft. Oh no, he's circling back around now. He's shooting it. Okay. Fantastical, I have that skill on my team. This thing's also pretty adept at bomber dogfighting, which is basically just 2 bombers go after each other. Another great example of that would be something like your B-29. B-29, if I run into something like an FW series aircraft, a Junkers or a Heinkel, I love bomber dogfighting those ones because they're slower, they've got worse defensive guns than me. Same for the FW. All right, guns, light them up. Okay, gunners. Okay, gunners. Can we shoot? Can we? Fuck, it's the chest. Okay, gunner targeting dead center. Oh, really? It's almost as my fucking AI gunners just don't like to shoot ever. There we go. Can he at least shoot me once so I take damage and it can credit this go? No, now I'm gonna have to wait 10 years before I can actually respawn. But play another match. Great. Okay, well, this aircraft is, I would say, probably I'd say a 7.5, right? Once again, I still think the B18 is better. I am a massive fucking lover of the B18. It's at a lower BR, it's faster, yet its bomb load is not as great. This thing's bomb load can get up to 4,000 pounds. Say 4,000 pounds, internal bay. It can go way faster than what I currently have it as. But at the same time, the B18, it just works so much better. At 1.3, it's so much stronger. It has a higher rip speed, so you can dive a lot more effectively. It's got a much higher top speed. In my opinion, I think it's probably the best American Rank 1 bomber in the game. All right. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I might be doing a series on this. Probably will bundle, some of the tiers into one. Like Rank 4 and Rank 5 will probably be one video. But like if you enjoy the video. Comment if you want to see this become a series. I think it's the first ever time somebody's done this on YouTube. So tell me what y'all think. Sub if you're new. Like and subscribe, guys. Ring the bell.